Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to Let's Play .hack GU Volume 2, Reminisce. May as well say the subtitle since the title screen's up there on the screen. The title screen is up there on the screen. That sounds... Oh, let's start over. Hey everybody, what's going on? Well, this is the first of 3 different bonus episodes for Volume 2. It has a little bit more content after you finish the game than Volume 1 did. So, first of all, let's see what... Well, you know what? This email doesn't have anything to do with anything. This basically is just saying that, you know, the same thing as the first one. You finished, the first game. I mean, you finished the second game. Save data after this point can be transferred to the third one. We also get some special words that I don't really play around too much with. There's Moonlight, which will let doppelgangers show up. Doppelgangers isn't something I really, like, went into detail about, because I honestly don't really know too much about them. A doppelganger of Haseo could show up at some point in a field. Like, I don't know if it's random or if it has, like, if you, like, need a certain requirement to do it. I don't even know what you get from it, but maybe I should have tried it out just, you know, to try it out, but, that is something else you can do in the game. I didn't really want to touch it, because, like I said, I don't really have any kind of experience with the doppelgangers. I think you actually fight a couple of doppelgangers in Volume 3 for the story, but they might be something different. And yeah, we have another Online Jack segment to go, so if you were super interested in Online Jack and tuned in for the bonus episodes, that's something you can get out of this. But what's going on today? Anything absolutely ridiculous?
5 seconds. 3, 2.
Hello to all you Online Jack viewers. Thanks for watching. My name is Michiru Tajima, and this is a special report. As you already know, 6 of my elementary school students were treated here at Takayuma University Hospital for suspicion of having contracted a disease known as doll syndrome. I've been under a lot of pressure, not only from school, but also from other, somewhat related organizations.
They want me to keep quiet in regards to this incident, but for the sake of my students, I'm going to report the truth.
Please take a look at what actually happened here.
Oh, yeah, the zombies. God, this was so stupid. Come on, man, this is a rated T game. Let's not go there.
Michiru! You kids, leave her alone!
Mr. Ayahara!
I was useful after all. Don't worry, Michiru. I'm right here with you.
Miss Michiru?
Toru Uike! Don't tell me you're Sakaki!
The time has nearly
What?
come for me to release the great power from the online world to reality in order to change this rotten world.
What? You'd better stop teasing adults like that!
Oh my god. He has, like, lightning powers, too? What the fuck, man?
It looks like you're next, Miss Michiru.
Kids, please! Come to your senses! No! Stop!
Hey, what are you kids doing?
Just when things were about to get fun. Such a boorish crowd.
Did he just teleport away, too?
After that, the children disappeared, and Mr. Aihara was rushed to the hospital.
This is not a made-up story. This bruise is proof of what happened. They were so strong, you'd never believe they were children. I mean, how could that happen? Mr. Aihara and myself tracked down the truth and came to a terrible and inescapable conclusion. And so I plead with you, all the parents watching this program, please stop your children from playing these online games. The world is dangerous. This game will control your children's hearts.
Oh, I don't know how to begin commenting on everything that just happened. Alright, there's like a bunch of news segments here, but they're all about Salvador Ihara in the hospital and the future of Online Jack and a bunch of other stupid stuff like that. It's not worth reading in the Let's Play. You can read it on your own time if you ever play through the game, but and then there's like all this stuff on the forums too. I don't know, it's weird. There's like one post where it's like they think that one of the NPCs in the game is Salvador Ihara, so I don't know. That's interesting, I guess, but God damn it, man. So, yeah, Sakaki's like a 10-year-old kid. That's fun. It shouldn't be so weird, because, like, Sora ended up being a 10-year-old kid in Dot Hack Sign, but at least Sora acted more like a kid. I mean, I never, like, before I found out who he really was in real life, I didn't really, like, assume he was a child. I thought he was just, like, playful. Because he is, like, kind of, like, mischievous and dark at times, but like, Sakaki, I never really get the impression that Sakaki is a kid. First of all, Crispin Freeman plays him. There's no way he can sound like a child. And then he has, like, this whole organization to, take down Moontree and spread Ida and everything, and when you see him, like, just as the kid there, it's like he's such, like, a Saturday morning cartoon villain. Like, there's no depth there. Like I was saying earlier, like, I really would have liked to see, like, how Sakaki got to this and, like, why he was doing this. Like, a little more, like, personal motivation for doing this. Like, he could have just been, like, some bullied kid and wanted to, like, change the world and got caught up in his own shit. And, like, yeah, that's basic, but that would have been better than just, like, gotta rebirth the world because it's a rotten, horrible, other generic words place. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know why he had lightning powers. I don't... What? What? Why? 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 In the Volume 2 trailer, they showed that scene with Salvador Ihara getting, like, attacked by the lightning. I always thought, though, like, before I played the game, it was just, like, cameras, like, flashing, because he's, like, you know, a celebrity or whatever. So it was kind of weird when I'm like, oh, he touched Sakaki and he got electrocuted. That's so dumb and dumb, man! It's so dumb! And then, like, well, it's like, just when things were about to get interesting, he, like, fades away? Like, what? What? What are you talking about? What? It's so dumb! It's so dumb. And I was gonna give credit, like, at the beginning of the video, because it's like, you know, as much as I think Online Jack is stupid, I do think they should have spent more time in GU, like, trying to explain how all of the virus stuff in the game is affecting the real world. Like, the Doll Syndrome thing, I don't know, I don't find it too interesting, but, you know, it is a good, like, it is a good, like, story thing to give with the Ida thing, because, I don't know, like, I mean, I've said it over and over, how many more times do I need to see it? It's an online game, people! It's a game about a game! And they, like, raise the stakes to, like, saving the world and shit. It's like, it really could have done more, like, with the real world, but... Anyway, enough about that. What are we doing here? So this is that, so the Serenos quest that we've been doing for, like, throughout the game. Those, like, short little areas. This is what it's all leading up to. It's very much like the first volume where you get a special area you need to go to afterwards. There's, like, a dungeon here. I think there was a dungeon in the old one, but, I can't remember. So, that was just, like, a little mini-boss. So, we're gonna go through this dungeon. I leave some of it in, but it's nothing really that special. Like, I'm not sure if the enemies here we've seen or not, but... So I keep a few of those battles in, but, like, the big thing is the fight at the end of it, where we fight whatever is in that, like, egg that those wizard Vital Vistas were holding. Man, I can't get over the thing with Sakaki. Just, like, Sakaki being, like, a 10-year-old kid in real life, like, he was, like, manipulating Adelie, who's, like, I don't know how old she's supposed to be, but I feel like from her, like, memories, that we walked through. She's definitely a high school student. So yeah, it's like, it's weird, because it's like, I don't know, Adelie has like... It feels like Adelie has feelings for both Haseo and Sakaki through a lot of GU. I don't know, it's kind of hard to like tell sometimes if like Adelie just like respected Sakaki a lot and looked up to him as like, I don't know, not like some kind of like father figure, but I guess like a role model or something like that, or if she did have like legit feelings for him at some point. I don't know, because like, I know Haseo's an asshole about everything, but like he does kind of like bring up a good point where it's like Sakaki this, Sakaki that, Sakaki, and it's like, yeah, that is kind of like the tendency of someone that would have, you know, feelings for another person or whatever. But it's just like weird to think about like how this like 10-year-old kid on the real world is like manipulating this high school girl that may or may not have feelings for him. And it's like that's the kind of thing that I wish kind of would like, I don't know. I don't want to say, like, make Dot Hack about that kind of, like, weird stuff online that no one really seems to like to talk about. But it would make for, like, a more interesting plot. Like, it would be interesting to see, like, I don't know. Like, that one email we got from Black Rose in the beginning of the game when she said she was, like, surprised to see Kite and that she was younger than her. Like, that's... I don't know. Like, I don't socialize too much online anymore, let alone like actually like form friendships online or anything like that. But I do remember when I was younger and like instant messenger was a thing, like I had like a fair number of people that I've never met before across the country as friends, and we talked and stuff like that. And like, I don't know, I think we were all like upfront about how old we really were, just to like make things like not weird and give things like some context. But like, it is weird just kind of like thinking for me personally, just like making friends with someone online in a game like this, and then like having those friendships be just as important as other friendships in the real world. But then it's like, how do you know who they really are like offline? I think that's just like an interesting thing that I kind of wish I like knew more stories that dived into that kind of thing. But anyway, so this is the boss. We're back at Marugubara Wall, except it's dark Marugubara Wall, so, you know, it's so different. The egg's true identity, huh? Do go on. The invincible living weapon. A man-made monstrosity that fed on the energy of its surroundings. Your ancestors left this wonderful thing as their legacy. With this, it will be a simple matter to gather enough souls for Lord Cyranosa's revival. Now see for yourselves! Thou of the old world, thou who wishes to awaken, in the name of our Lord and Master, I sacrifice 2 monsters to summon the Blue Eyes White Dragon! But, no, if you did read that on the bottom, you did read correctly. It did say the one sin, which may come as a... I don't know, I think it's kind of cool, to be honest, that they brought the one sin into GU. It's not really talked about too much in the games, or in the original games, I mean, because the one sin is from the first generation. I think it's more talked about in the novel AI Buster, but the one sin was this special event in the first generation of Dot Hack, and that's where Balmonk and Orca, like, teamed up and fought it. I can't remember if it was, like, that's when they decided to become partners to investigate the virus problems in the world, or, you know, if they were friends before that or something. But, they defeated it, and Orca was the one that technically defeated it, and the prize was the wings that, Balmonk has. But, Orca didn't want them, so he gave them to Balmonk. I'm not really sure how that works. I don't know if they were an item or part of his armor or something, but, that's kind of like the backstory about how Balmonk got his wings. So, you know, it's not like anything too critical in the original generation story or lore or anything, but I don't know, like, this was one of, like, the few things that I thought was, like, a throwback to the old games that I thought was, like, good, because it's, like, it doesn't lead to any kind of convoluted plot that doesn't make sense. It's literally just, like, a cool bonus thing. Now, I don't know if this is, like, what Balmunk and Orca thought, or if they just, like, kind of reimagined this fight for GU, and I'm just talking about the, you know, the lore in, you know, each generation. You know, obviously, you never fought anything like this in the original series. This was all just part of, like, you know, minor backstory, but this is, I like this fight a lot, actually. Like, this is a fun fight to me. It may not do anything special, like, compared to other RPGs, but, like, for everything that .hack GU has thrown at you so far, I think this is, like, a welcome change and, like, needing at least a little bit of strategy to it. So, here's the deal with this thing. I don't know what the text was trying to convince you of. It kept on saying, like, each of those, like, circles that it's on its wrists are, like, light and darkness, and you need to attack with the opposite element to damage them. I don't know what any of that means or is about. I don't know if, like, you do more damage with them. It always felt like, to me, it's like saying no other attacks except light and dark attacks can affect them, which is clearly a lie, because you can, you know, use your weapons just fine. But each of these things has armor on it, and you've got to chip away at the armor, and it does take a while. Like, it's like most of the battles trying to, like, chip away at this armor while you're avoiding the different attacks that it does. And, you know, perfect timing. As you see, when the armor disappears, the core will open, and then you kind of just go nuts on the core. It stays like this for a while, and then it'll start charging up this, like, beam attack that hits for, like, pretty major damage. Fortunately, this is, you know, another one of those situations where I really wish they had some more options for, you know, character control, because while you can run away from the attack, your party members are going to keep attacking, and they're probably going to get in the way of it. In fact, in one of these things, Adelie is, like, completely out of the way, and as it's shooting the beam, she runs into it. I still can't get over how Harvest Clerics and Shadow Warlocks just, like, run around the battlefield with, like, no clue what they're doing. It's so weird. You know, in the original games, because, you know, they're so much better than GU. I've said it like 1,000 times, you know. But in the original games, you could have just, like, said, like, follow me, and they'll follow you. And I don't know. I don't know why they got rid of so many of the options to control your characters. Maybe they thought, like, .hack never really took off because it was too complicated with its battles and everything, because I was pretty confused when I first started playing .hack 2. I was still, like, fairly new to RPGs at the time. Like, I think I only really had, like, I don't know, like, Final Fantasy VII and Golden Sun under my belt, really. I got into more RPGs as high school went along, but I think at the time I was kind of confused, so I did have a friend kind of, like, help me understand, like, some aspects of RPGs that were a little more complicated than the original series. So, I don't know, maybe they just didn't want to make it, the battle system go so complicated. Maybe they wanted it to be simpler because they wanted to bring in more, like, new fans to the series. But, yeah, this fight's not really too bad at all. Like, he attacks, but he doesn't attack very frequently. And as long as you have, like, healing items and stuff like that, you should be okay. There is a second boss fight, post-game boss fight, actually, that's, I mean, I didn't want to spoil it so early, but, like, it is the same exact monster. It's just, like, stronger and harder to beat. And it's not just, like, the HP. Like, it's a little more aggressive with its attacks, and you gotta, like, keep up on, healing and stuff like that too. In a lot of ways, it's like one of the only challenging fights in GU, and I wouldn't even say it's like hard. It's just like I said, it keeps you on your toes, and that's like more of what I wish GU would have done, because it's like GU is a pretty easy game, all things considered. I mean, it's definitely fun to play. Like, as much whining as I've done about it. Like, you know, there is satisfaction to playing it. I wouldn't, like, say it's, like, one of the best RPGs ever or anything like that, obviously. But there is definitely fun to be had with .hack GU, but, like, I don't know. I do wish it was, like, it was more difficult. And not just, like, raise all the enemies' HP. I do wish there was, like, more to it than just kind of, like, being a hack and slash sometimes. Because that's kind of, like, what it feels like. But anyway, so something else I didn't mention. There are 2 wrist, kind of circle things that you need to attack. Only one of them will be able to take damage at a time. And maybe that's what the game was trying to tell you with, like, you don't need to attack it with the opposing element or something like that. Because, like, when it's dark like this, you need to hit its, the wrist on the left. So the monster's right wrist, but our left. And then you have to do the opposite one for when the monster is light. And I kind of flub up here, thinking I could, like, you know, because why wouldn't I think this? The Divine Awakening, like, does massive damage to, like, everything else in the game, but, like, it does almost nothing to the monster, so it's like, you know, kudos on you, game, for, like, not making a cheap win. As I do demonstrate with the next, boss, though, you can use the Divine Awakening to still deal like, massive, damage to the enemy shield, so... You know how sometimes I save these for battle, but, like, oh my god. I don't even know if you saw that, but it was a tiny white number that I think was, like, in the 30s on the core. Sometimes I like to save the awakenings for the shield enemies just to, get rid of the shields. Not so much the shields, actually, but for, like, the flying enemies, because it's always a pain to hit those flying enemies. It really is. But here we go. It's the Super Metroid Mother Brain attack. Oh! But that's another cool thing. If you can, like, you have, like, a gamble you can do, too. If you see it charging that attack, you can either try to run away and, like, protect yourself, or you can keep attacking and hope you get a Rengeki during that time. Because if it gets a Rengeki, the animation for, like, charging it up will get canceled and it'll go back to its, like, neutral pose. But, yeah, we're almost done here. It's, like I said, not too hard of a boss battle. Like, it just, like, throws walls of fire up sometimes. It'll have pillars of light pop up from under the ground. It'll do, this thing here, where it just, like, slams the ground. I mean, that's one thing I like about GUs. The post-game battles for Volume 1 and 2 are, like, they're literally just the boss, and I'm fine with that. It's like a boss to, like, test your skills that you found throughout the game. And I appreciate that. Like, the extra... I like the post-game stuff in the original series, too, but, like, it's nothing too special. It's, like, an extra dungeon, and there's, like, an extra tough boss, and you have to figure out how to data drain it to get a unique piece of a unique weapon, or I think it's just weapons you get. But, the bosses themselves aren't, like, great or anything. Like, they're kind of, like, inconsistent, too. Like, the first game had this dragon, and if you fought it normally, you were gonna die immediately. The only way I've ever been able to find a proper way to, like, fight it was to actually have Kite hang back and be the healer, while whoever else was in your party went and damaged it. Because if you left healing to somebody else, there was no way they were able to keep up healing as much as you were able to. Second one was fine. You couldn't use magic against it, but who cares, because, you know... Even though Kite's good with decent enough with magic too, it's not like, you know, it's your preferred method of attacking with him. The third games was like a bitch because it had a physical tolerance. I think it did anyway. Maybe it didn't. There was something about physical and magical defenses with the Volume 2 and 3 bosses in the original series, but because I think you had to deal a certain amount of damage with either physical or magical attacks to be able to data drain it. I don't know. We beat the one sin. Sorry, I went on a tangent there and I'm not even paying attention to what's happening.
We won?
Of course we did. Few indeed, Entrance.
That was a ridiculous monster.
Alright, I guess that should take care of the egg quest.
Love how Sayo's just like, that takes care of that, no big deal.
Humpty Dumpty underwater.
What? I don't think that's how that goes, but okay. Isn't it I don't know. I don't know the Humpty Dumpty canon enough to properly quote on that. I just know Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Isn't that like the extent of the rhyme? I don't know. So for that, we got some, books. So, physical attack +3, yeah. Physical attack +5, yeah. Physical defense +5, alright. I'd rather take them than another, like, stupid radar. And then we got this, that, gives a ton of stuff to your elemental attack, and elements just in general. And then, just drops your GP and item drop rate, which is like, whoop-de-doo, who cares? But once you complete this quest, you'll get an email about the next quest you can do, and it's like the same monster. A lot more challenging, too. So, let's see that really fast. Notice, return of the One Sin. Dear Haseo, thank you for your regular patronage of the world. Thank you for completing the Abyss quest, Invasion of the Super Beings. You can now participate in the Return of the One Sin event that is only available to those that have completed the above Abyss quest. The evil sorcerers have taken 2 eggs. Now the final one has hatched and stands before you as an even stronger super being. Please enjoy your fight with the world's most powerful enemy. The following words will be required to progress in this event, so please make use of them. Theta, returning invincible, huge being. So next time we'll deal with that. So see you later, guys. Take care.